sets of answers and nearly 100 million individual answers. Then they looked for unusual answer patterns in a given classroom, such as blocks of identical answers, especially for harder questions, or a student giving right answers for hard questions while missing the easy ones. The study found such unusual answer patterns and theorized that some teachers may have changed students' answers after they took the test. To test the theory, students of teachers suspected of cheating were asked to take a retest with a control group of students who did well in the test but were not suspected of having their answers changed. The result was the students who were not suspected of cheating did the same or better on the retest, while the students whose teachers were suspected of cheating did much worse on the second test. As a result, several of the suspected teachers were fired, and those who weren't got a powerful incentive against cheating again. Sumo wrestling. Sumo wrestling is another field that is found to be prone to cheating. Sumo is the premier sport in Japan, one that is considered to be sacred and honorable. But the incentive scheme in sumo makes it highly prone to cheating. Each sumo wrestler needs to maintain a ranking that affects how much he earns, what privileges and reputation he enjoys. To maintain his ranking, he needs to win at least 8 victories out of 17 every year. On the final day of tournament, some wrestlers will have 7 to 7 cards, meaning they have 7 wins and 7 losses, and need to win their final bout to maintain their ranking. Interestingly, wrestlers with 7 to 7 cards often win by 80% against wrestlers who have 8 to 6 or 9 to 6 cards, even though odds often put their chances at less than 50%. This indicates that some match rigging may be going on. Of course, one can argue that wrestlers with 7 to 7 cards try harder to win because they have more at stake. However, if one looks at the win-loss percentage of the same wrestlers the next time they fight, the data shows that the 7 to 7 wrestlers win only 40% of the time against the same opponents. The most logical explanation is that some quid pro quo had been reached between the players, something like, "You let me win today, and I'll let you win the next time." This theory, however, has always been denied by sumo officials in Japan, and no wrestler has ever been punished for cheating. 3. The fact of honesty. While Levitt's study showed that people do cheat even when it's hard to prove it, he also asserts that a larger percentage of people don't. People's honesty is shown in the story of Paul Feldman, a man who started a business selling bagels. Feldman sold bagels through an honor system. He would leave baskets of bagels in an office as well as a collection box. Whoever took a bagel would need to drop $1 in the box. While Feldman's economist friends told him his system would never work, Feldman found that his payment rate was approximately 87%. This means that while not everyone paid for the bagels, 87% of people did. He also found out that smaller offices were more honest than big offices, probably because a non-payer would be more likely to be known in small offices. Again, a social incentive against non-paying. Executives, Feldman discovered, also tended to be more dishonest about paying than lower-ranked employees. Delivering bagels to 3 different floors that comprised the executive, administrative, and sales departments, Feldman found that the executive floor had a lower payment rate than the other floors. This could be due either to executives having an overdeveloped sense of entitlement to things, including bagels, or maybe because cheating was how they got to be executives in the first place. What the Ku Klux Klan and real estate agents have in common: using and abusing information. The Ku Klux Klan and real estate agents have one thing in common: both use information to gain power over others. The Klan was founded just after the Civil War to promote white supremacy, first against blacks, then later against blacks, Jews, and other races. It grew in the first decade of the 20th century, then declined during the First World War, when national unity became a stronger motivation than segregation. The Klan thrived after the war, when fear of war was replaced by uncertainty about the economy. What finally caused the downfall of the Klan? Information. The Klan fundamentally derived its power and appeal from being a secret society. It had secret passwords, secret handshakes, and members who were only known to each other. While a lot of people spoke against the Klan, they knew very little about it. Stetson Kennedy, an anti-racial advocate, found a way of eliminating the Klan once and for all. He infiltrated the Klan, he became a member, learned all its secret ways, and found out that the chapter he joined was basically a group of poorly educated, low-earning men who needed a space to vent their frustrations and occasionally a reason to stay out all night. Learning this, Kennedy passed on everything he knew about the Klan to the Superman comic book writers. Superman Comics then wrote a series about Superman fighting the Klan, and used the Klan's secret passwords, codes, etc. Soon, children all over America knew all about the Klan and turned the secret society into a child's game. Members became disgruntled and humiliated and stopped attending meetings. Their secret society had become a mockery and had lost its appeal and power for them. Real estate agents operate in the same way. You go to them thinking they can help you sell your home for the best price, but real estate agents also use code words and information to serve their interests. Again, a real estate agent's first interest is to sell your house as quickly as possible, so that he or she isn't going to wait around the best offer. In fact, they could tell prospective buyers how much lower you could go on your price just to facilitate the sale. At the same time, real estate agents also market houses in a unique way. When an agent says a house is well maintained, you may think that's a good way to describe your house, but well maintained is actually a code word to tell prospective buyers that a house is old but is not actually falling down yet. Other code words that agents use to subtly disparage a house they're selling and hint to buyers to buy low are spacious, fantastic, good neighborhood, and other ambivalent adjectives. If an agent really wanted to say that a house was a great buy and command a higher sales price, he or she would use words like granite, maple, Korean, gourmet, or state-of-the-art, or other words that are more specific in describing the house. Why do drug dealers live with their moms? Challenging conventional wisdom. Conventional wisdom is that which is simple, convenient, comforting, and comfortable, that which closely accords with our self-interest or well-being and would be the least awkward or unwelcome. But much conventional wisdom is actually false and often spun by so-called experts and advocates with a cause to promote, and the media with news to sell. Such a system has spawned such lies as 45 homeless Americans die every second, 1 in 3 women will be a victim of assault in her lifetime, or that Listerine cures bad breath. Before Listerine, bad breath was not in people's consciousness and was not seen as much of a problem. The actual statistic is that 1 in 8 women will be a victim of assault, and if 45 homeless people die every second, there would be 1.4 billion dead homeless every year. Whereas the U.S. population is only 225 million at the time the news was made. Another myth spurned by police in America is that drug dealers were armed with state-of-the-art weapons and limitless cash. But if you look at housing projects where crack cocaine is often sold, you would see that many drug dealers still lived at home with their parents. Why is that if they had so much money? Sudhir Venkatesh was a sociologist who lived with a black youth gang in Chicago for many years, learning their ways and understanding their way of life. As a result, Venkatesh was given the books for gang drug sales for the last 7 years. Teaming up with Levitt, the two then discovered that the gang's organization was almost identical to McDonald's or any other corporate organization in America, with a few earning most of the money and the rest getting peanuts while doing the most dangerous part of the job. 6. What do nylon stockings and crack cocaine have in common? In 1939, DuPont introduced nylon stockings for women. Until then, they were making only silk stockings available, which were expensive and hard to come by, making them inaccessible for most women. Nylon stockings made it possible for women to wear stockings all the time. It was the same with crack cocaine. In the 1970s, cocaine was the classiest